Welcome to my YouTube channel Family Drama Files. Please like, share, subscribe for more emotional videos.
I'd never imagined that one mistake would destroy 3 generations of my family in a single afternoon. My father believed he was teaching my son a lesson, the way he had raised me. My wife saw it as unforgivable abuse. But what happened next shocked every person standing there. She ripped the belt from my father's hands, struck him with it in front of our entire family, called him a bastard, and refused to apologize. That was the exact moment I realized my marriage was already over. Family gatherings at my parents' house were usually loud, warm, and full of laughter. My father loved his grandson more than anything, even though he was strict and believed children needed discipline. My wife had always disagreed with his old-fashioned views, but I thought they could eventually learn to respect each other. That afternoon, our son ignored repeated warnings and deliberately broke an expensive family heirloom. My father lost his temper. Before I could react, he removed his belt and struck my son several times. My son cried. My wife screamed and rushed toward them. For 1 second, I thought she was simply going to protect our son and demand that everyone calm down. Instead, she snatched the belt out of my father's hands and, in front of grandparents, cousins, neighbors, and our own child, she hit my 70-year-old father with the same belt. The room went completely silent. Then she shouted words I never thought I'd hear directed at the man who had welcomed her into our family years earlier. She called him a bastard, accused him of being worthless, and said he deserved worse. My father didn't fight back. He simply stood there, shocked and humiliated. I picked up my crying son and asked my wife to stop immediately. Instead of calming down, she demanded that everyone apologize to her. She insisted she had done nothing wrong because she was defending our child. Later that evening, after everyone had gone home, I told her I agreed. My father should never have used the belt. He was wrong. But humiliating an elderly man by beating him publicly and refusing to show even the smallest amount of regret had crossed another line entirely. I asked for one thing, a sincere apology. Not because my father was perfect, but because every family deserves accountability from everyone involved. She refused. Days passed. Friends, relatives, and even her own parents tried to convince her to apologize. Every conversation ended the same way. She insisted. She was the victim and said she would rather end our marriage than admit she had gone too far. Her refusal forced me to face a painful truth. I couldn't raise my son in a home where anger was answered with even greater anger. If my father's violence was wrong, then my wife's revenge was wrong too. Someone had to end the cycle before our child believed that humiliation and violence were normal ways to solve conflict. I filed for divorce. Months later, my father apologized directly to my son with tears in his eyes. He admitted that hitting him had been a terrible mistake and promised it would never happen again. My son forgave his grandfather. My wife never apologized to anyone. Walking away from my marriage was the hardest decision of my life. But staying would have taught my son that revenge is stronger than responsibility. I chose to break the cycle instead of passing it to another generation. Sometimes the strongest parent isn't the one who wins the fight. It's the one who ends it forever. Years have passed since that day, and the scars are still there, but so are the lessons. My son grew up understanding that real strength isn't measured by who hits harder or shouts louder. It's measured by who has the courage to stop the cycle of pain. My father spent the rest of his life earning back his grandson's trust through kindness instead of fear, while my ex-wife never accepted responsibility for her actions. Looking back, I don't celebrate the divorce. I celebrate the peace that followed it. Some families are broken by pride, while others are rebuilt through accountability. If sharing this painful chapter helps even one parent choose patience over anger, or one family choose respect over revenge, then everything I endured had a purpose. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't getting even. It's protecting the next generation from repeating the same mistakes forever.